Hey, what it is? Welcome back to Turbo Tortoise Tech and your tech news in 6 minutes or less. Intel Xe iGPU can play BF5 at 1080p 30 FPS. AMD is on track for their 4000 series desktop release later in the year. Their 4300 APU can play Crysis without cooling. RTX 3000 series should be in production come August. EA flexes their next-gen gaming suite. Red Dead 2 runs better on Linux with AMD than it does on Windows. And we have a look at the best deals from Goooooood. In a moment of Intel Flex, they have demoed their engineering sample of their new iGPU. One of the chief performance strategists, Juan Ryan Shroud, decided to give himself a 5-finger discount and take one home and play Battlefield 5 on it, and it ran at 1080p 30 FPS. Now of course that's not really, gaming master race, high frame rate sort of stuff, but it's an iGPU. So if it's got enough power to drive Battlefield, stuff like Adobe Suite, even Light 3D will be an absolute breeze for that chip. This will mean GPUs like MX450 will become practically obsolete overnight. AMD has announced that their 4000 series desktop chips are on track for launch later in the year, which is really good news because they have launched these XT series chips to sort of stopgap combat the new 10th gen chips, which came out and did a stellar job at every single price point for gaming. So you're only really scaling the amount of cores you need based on your workload functionality for both Intel and AMD now. The one thing that I will say is a little bit better perhaps on AMD is that their chips are unlocked, so it gives you some more freedom of overclockability. Something that was mad on the AMD camp was their 4300U laptop chip was running Crysis 1 without cooling. Now it did drop down to 7 watts worth of usage where the normal peaks are about 15 watts, at least that's what it's designed to do. And the GPU even dropped as low as 6 megahertz, but it still ran Crysis without any cooling at sub 80 degrees because the XFR was keeping the voltage and temperature back. So in a normal environment where you have normal cooling set up in a laptop, it does mean your longevity is literally guaranteed. Nvidia has finally spilled the beans on the RTX 3000 series. No mention of the 40 gig HBM2 super monster that they were talking about. Perhaps that's another Titan something that's coming a little bit down the road, but they have said that these cards will be in production from August and that the September launch date is still on the cards. EA recently had an online event to flex their next-gen titles, including another new NFS from Criterion, another Battlefield with apparently really good-looking face technology. I don't understand the point of that in a game like Battlefield, but they did tease they released something that was pretty cool, and they teased a new game from BioWare, which will probably be Dragon Age 4 based on the in-game renders and sort of stuff we're seeing there. And then they announced that they will be releasing Star Wars Squadrons a little bit later in the year, which is one of the coolest things 9-year-old me has ever seen, because one of the games that I first absolutely no-lifed was X-Wing vs TIE Fighter. And this is like a swift upgrade graphically and gameplay wise into the future, hopefully. It is scratching that Wookiee itch. In a really cool test by a mad lad called Flightless Mango, he has set up Linux with the Vulkan API and the Wine loader to be able to play Red Dead Redemption 2 and give us some benchmarking scores. And the bullet point of the presentation is the AMD was actually slightly better in the Linux version. Now this wasn't true for Nvidia, and DirectX is something that has been developed over an exceedingly long lifetime, probably extending past 20 years at this point. So it's not going to be something that creates an alternative overnight, but on these results, it's really looking pretty promising. Lastly, having a look at what Uncle EveTech has up their sleeves this week. SteelSeries QCK PUBG Edition are on sale. The glorious mouse Bungie gets even cheaper. You can get 2 of the best Logitech peripherals at a steal, a couple of well-priced 250 gig SSDs, 2 of the best FPS mouse ever made at a discount, Dell's 24-inch IPS FreeSync monitor at a steal, Clev Crysis 3200MHz memory kits for the gamers, LG's 144Hz maintains its price, and Samsung's 27-inch 1440p 144Hz gets even cheaper. Can you believe it? That is all we have time for today, but in the next review later in the week I will be reviewing this here laptop. It is the ROG Zephyrus G14 with the Ryzen 4900 HS. I've been playing with it for about a week. It's hot. Until then, have yourselves a good one, and I'll see you on the flip side.